So, at the time of me recording this video, there are about 80 days left. But who's counting? So I know what you're thinking. Somebody else that's here to remind you of all the things that you wrote down and you said that you were going to achieve that you actually didn't. All the books that you said you were going to read and you actually didn't. You were supposed to get engaged, have a baby, buy a home. You're supposed to move into your very first apartment, launch that business. And yeah. So if you're that person who actually planned out their life and your life is going exactly as you planned it, I really want to hear your story. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Nadia. On this channel, we talk about adulting, inspiration, and 4C hair. And so if any of that resonates with you, let me know what you think about some of the gems I'm gonna drop, and I'd appreciate it. Back to the video. So if you are anything like me, you struggle with something that's called the knowing doing gap, where it's like you know exactly what to do, you just can't get yourself across that gap, across that bridge to actually getting it done. It could be for a bunch of reasons. For some people, it's lack of resources. They don't have the support that they need to get that information into action. For some people, it's just lack of enthusiasm, lack of motivation. And for other people, you have so many competing priorities where it almost feels like you're being outnumbered and overwhelmed by them, and so you end up doing nothing because you feel like you have so much to do. The knowing doing gap. And that third reason is actually mine. There's a lot of things that I want to do and I just feel overwhelmed by all of them. And I'm looking at my little vision board right now. There's like maybe one or two things to cross off. So if you're just like me and you're dealing with this, I thought of a couple of reminders. Reminder number one, we're never going to feel like doing something. We have to do things because we committed to doing them. For example, one thing that I really struggle with, and I've struggled with all throughout the year, that I said I would work on, making phone calls, texting people more. Ultimately, it's because I'm just not a big phone person. I want to pick up the phone, but it's like, man, I just don't feel like getting on that call and talking for hours. I just think about all the amount of energy that it's going to take out of me, and I've never felt like doing it. I've realized that relying on emotions is never going to get me to do the things that I really want to do. Mel Robbins, she is this international motivational speaker, and she talks about the 5-second rule. If there's ever a moment that you've said you have the plan in place and you're like, all I gotta do is get up and do it, but you don't feel like doing it, the 5-second rule. You count down from 5 to 1. And once you get to 1, no hesitation, no excuses, you just get up and you do it. So if you're supposed to go to the gym, you've set your alarm for 6 a.m., your alarm goes off, you actually wake up, but you're feeling so drained. Think about the 5-second rule. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Once you hit 1, you force your body to get up. Once your body is up, everything else is a momentum. Everything else is a domino effect. Moving forward, we're going to be focusing on commitment and not motivation, because the foundation of being motivated or feeling motivated is your emotions. However, commitment is kind of like the 5-second rule, where it's like once you hit 0, you're committed to getting whatever it is that you said you were going to do, getting it done. So another reminder, and this is more of an unpopular opinion, a little bit I think unconventional, is that there are a lot of things that we are struggling with. We think we're the only ones that are struggling with them, but they're actually extremely human. So here are some things that you didn't realize are very human. Number one, having everything that you want and everything that you worked for, yet still feeling unhappy, like there's a void. Being surrounded by friends and family, yet having this deep sense of loneliness. Knowing how important something is, yet still putting it off. Reflecting on past decisions and wishing and hoping and regretting why you didn't make a different choice. So in other words, whatever you're feeling and wherever you are right now is actually where you should be. For example, I always felt by now I should have been a doctor. I should have had maybe a couple of years in. I'm not a doctor. I'm doing something completely different. The trajectory of my life literally has gone this way. There's a Bible verse that goes, man has a certain plan for his life and then God laughs at it. Where it's like the things that we really thought that we wanted to do or hopes that we could do, a lot of times we don't end up in those places, maybe because that's not where in the grand scheme of things, we're supposed to end up get married by 28 and have my babies by 32. Life is going exactly how I planned it to be. If that is your story, please say something in the comments and let me know what your secret is. Let us all know what your secret is, because my life is the absolute opposites. It's very easy to see other people achieving the things that we want to achieve and feeling like we're the ones that are left behind, or feeling like we're the ones that need to catch up, when actually this trajectory and this path that you're on is meant to happen. So with just 80 days, a couple of weeks left into 2024, I just wanted to come here and shoot you those 2 reminders. And now my goal after saying all of this is to take my own advice. We're gonna be fine.